So when I sat down with Justin, the atmosphere at Radio Row was particularly crazy. It was loud, just so many people everywhere. And I asked him what it was like as a player to wander through that area.
No, it's great, man, to see the fans and see some old faces, some former teammates, some guys you looked up to when you were playing. So it's a mix between, a lot of different people, but it's a cool time. A little congested this year being in the food court, but it's been fun.
You know what always impresses me is the guys who walk through with their gold jackets on, the Hall of Famers,
yeah.
And you start to see more of them. That's really neat. It's a piece of the game's history.
Man, it's awesome, man. I'm thinking about buying me a gold jacket just to wear.
Can you do that?
I'm sure I can find my tailor or somebody can doctor something for me.
So you spent 9 years in the NFL as a running back.
Uh-huh.
You played for 7 different teams.
Yep.
And I was going back and looking at your different stops and thinking about how that is for a professional athlete to move that many times, to get adjusted to that many systems.
Mm-hmm.
How challenging was that?
It's tough. I mean, especially early on, being a young guy in the NFL, just traveling from one place to the next, and even harder when you got a family. I remember, right before I made the decision to retire, that last year I was with Baltimore, started off there, and then moved to Detroit, and then went to Denver all in 1 year. But the time I was in Detroit, I got released, and I had to fly out to Denver, left my family back in Detroit. My wife, who was 6 months pregnant at the time, had to pack up everything with our 2 boys who were around ages 3 and 2 at the time, and drive in a snowstorm back to Baltimore where we were living by ourselves and doing it all on our own. So this is tough on the family. It's part of one of the reasons why it's about time for me to wrap it up and call it good. And, but it's also a blessing to be able to play the game that you love. So
how happy are they to have you home?
It's been great, man. It's be around, be a dad, be present in the home, and kind of go to those basketball games and those soccer games. It's pretty special.
Because it wasn't easy, because there was a lot of adversity, there were challenges as you talk about. What do you feel like over the decade you spent in the NFL, it taught you about life, about business, about surviving?
Man, this game of life is about endurance. I mean, for me, people could measure how high I could jump. They could measure how strong I was. They could measure how fast I was in the 40, but there's no one that can measure my heart and, my mental capacity to just mental toughness to be able to say, okay, I'm going to get knocked down 7 times, but I'm going to get up 8 and keep fighting for what you want and to be successful. And that's the kind of mindset you got to have. And whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're whatever in radio or media personality, you're going to get some no's. You're going to have some hard times, but you don't have to have allow those things to define you. Those things can refine you and make you a better person and propel you to where you want to be.
And when you survive, that it is possible after failure to get up and to start all over again. You have that experience.
Man, so many close-up encounters. You don't understand it in the moment. It just hurts, and you're feeling rejection. But you can use that with the right perspective to get you where you want to be.
Longtime NFL running back Justin Forsett with us here after hours on CBS Sports Radio. You mentioned being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this until I just was reading it online this morning. You were on Shark Tank.
Yes,
what
I was.
What was that like?
Oh, man. It's crazy, insane, being funny because you watch the show. I'm watching the show for a while now, being up there in front of Mark Cuban and Barbara and Lori Grenier and, Robert, A-Rod was on ours. Alex Rodriguez was on ours too. So it was,
A-Rod was there.
It was a surreal experience, nerve-wracking.
I bet. So what did you take away from that? And it's a product called Shower Pill.
Shower Pill, yep.
Yep. So we'll talk about the product in a second, but what did you take away from that experience and totally different than your NFL playing days?
Man, for us, one reason why we didn't get a deal, sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the show, we didn't get a deal. It was just lack of communication, being able to speak coherently and be able to tell your story financially on the big stage, and opportunities come are few and far between, so you got to maximize that window when you can. And we didn't do it in that regard. They love the product and whatnot, but the numbers, you got to go in the tank knowing everything about your numbers. So we got equipped, we got sharpened up on that, knowing the ins and outs of that on that aspect, and grew from that as a company, got stronger, bigger, and now we're doing better than ever now. So
awesome.
It's great.
What is Shower Pill?
So Shower Pill is a term in the NFL locker room for generations where there's pills for everything but no pills for a shower. So if a guy skipped out on a shower, he said, man, don't judge me. I took a shower pill. Don't worry, I'm clean. So it was a hypothetical joke that we had in the locker room, so that we turned actually that joke into a business where there are people in many different areas of life that just don't have time to clean up every interval of sweat, let's say, throughout the day. So we wanted people to practice good hygiene, to freshen up if they want to, whether it's a midday workout. It's like, man, I want to work out during lunch, but there's no showers here. I can't get clean. It's like, now you have shower pill, the body wipe to get clean. So whether camping, hiking, soccer mom, have the shower pill body wipe with you.
And what kind of success are you finding?
It's been great, man.
Awesome.
The business has been booming, especially as of late. Shark Tank helped this Sunday. This is boosting sales even more, creating more exposure. But this year we started in Crunch Fitness, which is about 200 locations across the country. We'll be in UFC Gym next month. We're in Pharmaca, which is a specialty pharmacy store throughout the country. They got about 30 locations. So the business is growing. We're online. Number one product in our category. Best reviews, 4 to 5 stars, 4.5 stars on Amazon. So things are going well, but it's a crazy lifestyle.
That's amazing. I once had a conversation with Jerry Rice, and I almost didn't believe him when he told me this. He said after he appeared on Dancing with the Stars, more people knew him for that, this network TV appearance, something that had nothing to do with football, than for what he did on the football field. You mentioned Shark Tank kind of opening up all this exposure. It's a whole different audience. People are going to know who Justin Forsett is, not as a player, but as someone who's hawking shower pill.
Yeah, no, man, it's cool. It's everywhere I go now, I think people are watching me like, man, is that the guy that was on Shark Tank just a few days ago? But no, it's a great experience. People have been reaching out, whether it's investors, businesses, companies. It's like, man, we love your product. We love to bring you in. So it's been great so far. We've been enjoying that time.
You're busy, obviously, but what do you miss about the NFL?
Just the locker room environment, that camaraderie with teammates. I mean, it's really hard to find that anywhere else. But playing and getting hit by 300-pound men every day.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't miss that, to say the least.
There's a lot of talk about the concussion protocols, making the game as safe as possible. Over the time that you spent in the NFL, so you spanned almost a decade in the league, is it working? Do you feel like the changes, the rule changes, the equipment changes, technology, is it making the game safer?
I think so, especially if some of the rules are in place. Guys are thinking about it, being conscious of it on the field now. It's still a collision sport. Things are going to happen. But I think we're moving in the right direction. Still got a ways to go.
I hear guys tell me all the time, it's hard enough to win one game in the NFL.
Yeah.
Look at the consistency of the New England Patriots, right? Yeah. Again, so you played a decade. You recognize that this is a team that's been on top for a long time. How is that possible?
Aren't you tired of seeing it?
I mean, I like fresh blood. I like fresh blood, so I'd be okay with an Eagles win. But it is something to behold. Like, what? This is
crazy,
amazing.
Man. They got great leaders over there. They have a company culture or a team culture that's phenomenal. Guys buy in right away. If you don't buy in, then you're out. As simple as that. No one's bigger than the team. So everyone takes their roles and runs with it. They get the right guys that fit that system, and they're consistent.
It's like a machine.
It is a machine.
And there's not a lot of room for loyalty. It's much more about the business.
Oh, business.
Yeah.
The Patriot way.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard that a lot this week. Justin Forsett, how can people find you to learn out more about the shower pill?
Showerpill.com. Follow us on our handles on social media at showerpill. You can follow me at jforsett on all those platforms as well.
It's so good to talk to you. Thank you so much for a couple of minutes.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a blast.